Tell yourself that. That's fine.
I do, and I did. Hey, I zipped up my pants. I deserve it.
Welcome to Then You Ruined It, a podcast where two dorks try not to make a simple conversation weird and fail every time.
Figured it out, Jason. The mystery is solved. I know why no one wants to sit by me on the bus.
Okay. Odor is always popular. If we're playing Family Feud, that would definitely be my answer. I just buzzed in and I'm going to say odor.
No, because I just got out of the shower. Like, I go from shower to bus very quickly. And that, turns out, is the problem. So.
Okay. I was going to say, and my next guess is going to be hirsuteness, meaning the amount of hair you have.
Okay, so this is my life schedule now. So I usually go to bed around midnight. I'm not great. I try to get to bed around 11. That doesn't happen. I got podcasts to edit. I got things to draw. I got video games to play. I'm a busy man. What is that face?
You just sound like my daughter. Why didn't you get that done? I didn't have any time. It's like you played video games. You drew something. You were watching TV at the same time. Don't tell me you didn't have time.
What time do you go to bed? I need to know how good you are at this before I let you lecture me.
Oh, no, I'm worse. I go to bed later than that. I go to bed earlier probably, but I don't go to sleep until later. And it's only because I am exclusively watching YouTube. I'm not drawing. I'm not playing a video game. I want to do those things, but I tell myself, but I do have lots of YouTube stuff to watch, so I'm going to do that instead.
It just takes one small change. One small little change over a lifetime leads to a great fortress of rock. I don't know. I lost the analogy. My nose.
Oh,
itches.
wise man, please teach me your ways.
I can't. I'm too hairy and something went up my nose.
Looping back around.
So I go to bed around midnight. I wake up at 10 to 5 every morning so that I can go to the gym because it's the only time I can go to the gym. So I go to the gym, go home, I take a shower, and then I'm straight to the bus. So I wake up at 5 and I'm on a bus by 6:30. So I gym, shower, dressed, get everything all packed very quickly. And I am operating off 5 hours of sleep, fully assuming that I'm going to sleep on the bus for the hour bus ride it takes to get to my office. Which means I am not fully awake. And I've just been in a warm shower, so I have once again entered Sleepyville. Which means when I put my pants on, probably 3 out of 5 times, I don't zip up. And I don't realize it till I'm getting off the bus in downtown Seattle.
Sorry, I'm shaking my head because this is a
mystery solved.
Mystery solved and easily resolved one as well.
So I have made a checklist on my phone. Did I grab my breakfast? Did I put my computer and mouse in my backpack? Did I zip up my fly? Because if I don't write it down, I won't do it. But now I am prepared, and it hasn't happened since.
I've noticed since maybe getting older, maybe COVID, maybe a mix of both. I don't know. Children coming into the mix. That I definitely forget things that I did not forget before. I don't think zipping up my fly would be one of them. I think that's something that would just that's ingrained enough in me that's always a check. I've definitely walked around with this unzipped fly before. I if I was to discover that on public transit like once, I feel like that would be enough of a red flag to say, you gotta start doing this every single time, man.
No, it was seriously probably 10 times over the course of a month before I'm like, dude, pull yourself together. Something's got to change. You're better than this. And my fly looked up to me like, are you? Are you really better than this? Because the evidence points to the contrary there, Shinny.
Just see you leaning to the person next to you. Oh, gotta zip up again. Lucky my penis didn't fall out, right? And then nobody will ever stand next to you ever. You might get kicked off the bus.
And the worst part of it is, for most of these times, I was asleep the whole bus ride. So I'm just asleep, passed out cold, fly open to the world. Who knows what sort of horrible things could have happened?
Oh my goodness. That is definitely a guy on the bus that you, or the subway or wherever you encounter them, that you avoid. Because who knows what else that person is going through if they can't be bothered to zip up their pants before they fall asleep on the bus.
This is a man who has problems.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get roped into them.
Nope. I don't want to know what else is going on in this man's life that he can't be bothered to zip up his pants. Just stay away, kids.
So that's my message to everyone listening. And judging by the analytics of what we have of people who listen, you're probably more in the age where you need to remember to zip up rather than don't sit next to the guy that didn't zip up. But if you have found yourself as a social outcast or a pariah in any aspect of your life, don't look inward. Look downward.
Wise. That one will stick. That one's fine.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Sure. I'm trying to think of a trait that I have that I'd later found out through somebody else or my own reasoning that it's like, oh, that could be like really turning people off.
I mean, I've got some old episodes I could send you links to.
Yeah, those are full of things, but those are like funny stories, not like a thing that's like, seriously, you need to take care of that. Nobody is going to talk to you unless you do. Like, I wasn't the smelly kid, I don't think. I showered. So, as an adult, I work from home, so there's rarely anything. I do wear sweatpants. I mean, they're not sweatpants, they're joggers. I've said that before. They are sweatpants, though, and I have noticed, like I was telling you earlier, I went to an awards show for my daughter the other day, and was like, okay, well, maybe I'll put on jeans just because I'm going to be around a lot of parents probably, and who knows, what level of dress they'll be at. And answer was all different kinds.
Oh, yeah.
Some really tall hippie dad that kept standing up and clapping for his daughter or son, I don't know. And man, he was living. he was my totem. Yes, that's what I should be. But I do still feel bad. It's like, I'm basically wearing sweats out of the house. I feel like I should clean up a bit, but I also just don't really care. I don't know if it reflects poorly on me, but I also just don't care. I'm also getting too much of a gut to wear pants I used to, so this is out of necessity. If I wear those, I'm going to be in pain. Then I'm going to be mean to you.
You could, lose the gut or buy bigger pants.
Yes. Buying bigger pants is admitting failure. And I'll never do that. I'll just work around it. So I'll just wear sweats instead.
And exercising requires effort, so that's not happening either. Not going to stop eating at Taco Bell, so the only option is not care what people think of me.
You just worked through my brain. Yeah, thank you. That's basically where I'm at.
See, this is why you don't have these moments of realization. You have discovered all these things about you, and you're just like, it's too much work. I could decide, you know what, zipping up's too much work. Screw it. But I don't. Because I want to live in a world where everyone zips up.
So does everybody on the bus. So zip up, damn it.
I do! That is the moral of the story. This is what I want proclaimed from the rooftops after this episode. Steve Shinny zips up his pants. He had to make a note to remind him, but it worked.
That really sounds like you could be like a presidential frontrunner at this point. We'll zip up our pants, not because it's easy, not because it is hard, but because we'll remember to do it.
Because it is the right thing to do, darn it. Because ask not what your country can zip up for you. Ask what you can zip up for your country.
They will say, your pants, pervert.
Same as it was 4 years ago.
It's always going to be the same. Please zip up your pants. Nobody wants to see that. Yeah, outside of the quote-unquote sweatpants, which they are not, again, can't really think of anything. I'm sure other people would tell you otherwise, and I interact with so few people that I just don't.
Well, maybe that's the first one. Maybe you could interact with more people.
That's definitely one that takes more effort that I do not want to do. I'll work out before I'll go talk to somebody.
Oh, so here's what you do. You got to set up a punishment program. Either you do 20 jumping jacks or you go talk to a neighbor.
Okay. Jumping jacks. I mean, there's no question.
See, this is how we're going to get you in fighting shape.
I think, but the biggest part about that is that it's not just the working out, because I do some exercises just because I work from home and I'm doing nothing sometimes, sitting here for hours at a time. So I get up and do some exercising, but it's also the diet change. That's the problem. I tried to implement that the last 2 nights, actually. I have failed miserably.
Yeah. I mean, so people always like tell me that, like, you need to eat better. That's why you're not losing weight. Because I go to the gym constantly. And I'm like, I know, but I'm not really trying to lose weight. I'm just trying to live forever so I can keep eating stuff. Like,
that's the American dream.
Yeah.
I don't want to get better. I just want to get well enough that I live forever so I can just keep eating.
I just want to maintain this. This that I am right now, I love. I love being able to be at the gym for an hour and then go home and eat a bunch of Doritos. Because I earned those Doritos. I climbed the Empire State Building twice.
I did my 10 reps of basically what amounts to yoga. So I get to eat whatever I want for breakfast.
Yeah, that's like you say you do exercises. The way that you said that made me very suspicious of how effective. Like, this isn't CrossFit.
No, absolutely not. No, it's not even close to that. But there is like a regimen that they say, like, it's for good work from home exercises just to keep you limber. Basically, just keep things moving so you're not just sitting for 3 hours at a time or whatever. And so I do those.
Which is good.
And then when I realized, okay, I'm getting a gut, I'd like to get rid of that. So, okay, maybe I'll work sit-ups in there. I'll do some sit-ups. So I only do like 10, but oh my God, it's all I can do to get those 10 and not be like, oh, and nothing's happening down here because I'm still eating the same. So I'm like, okay, well, this ain't working. What's next?
So, every Tuesday and Thursday, my wife will go to the YMCA nearby our house to do Zumba. That is her preferred form of exercising. As I mentioned, I like to go to the gym every morning, and I do some weightlifting and some cardio. This Tuesday, I can't remember why, but I didn't go to the gym in the morning. So after work, after dinner, I was like, you know what? We don't have anything going on this evening. I'm going to go to the gym while the kids do homework. And my wife's like, that's fine, but I was going to go to the gym. Oh yeah, it's Zumba night. Well, I'll go now, and then I'll be there. It usually takes me an hour, and then you'll be going like a half hour when your class starts. So we're only both gone for like a half hour. She's like, okay, that should be fine. So I go to the gym, and I do the first part in one room. So I'm lifting weights, and I'm like, okay, half hour of weightlifting done. Time to go to the other gym where all the cardio stuff is. And to do that, you have to walk past where they do the Zumba. And I know this because it's just a bunch of women bouncing around in their athletic attire. And so, I have to be all like, don't be a creep, don't be a creep, don't be a creep. But this time I'm like, hey, my wife's there. I can be a creep and just pretend I'm only looking at her. So I got to walk by and like, hi. And really, I'm checking everyone out. I checked my wife out too, but you have natural habitat. You don't just want to see the one zebra when you go to the zoo. You want to see all the zebras.
That's one way to put it. It's also, I don't want to just objectify my wife. Objectify everybody equally. Make sure to wave at her so I'm not total perv.
If I get called out on it, I'm just looking at my wife, making sure she's having a good time in there.
Sure. Tell yourself that. That's fine.
I do. And I did. Hey, I zipped up my pants. I deserve it. I've grown as a person. I can be a bit skeevy.
Oh, trust me. Following all that you just said, if I zipped up my pants, I deserve this. Skeevy and pervy is definitely what that sounds like.
Yeah, well, small steps. I've got all my personal progress planned out. I will stop being a skeevy pervert the year I turn 55.
Okay. What's going to change that year?
That's what I'm going to fix that year. I have a whole list of all the things that are wrong with me and what year I'm going to fix them. Because you can't change all at once. It takes slow, deliberate progress. You should plan it out. It's like if you try and clean your whole house in one day, that's a lot of work. But if you spend 5 minutes a day cleaning, it's all done in no time. Same with personal progress. You change one flaw a year, and that's it.
All right. As I'm not saying we're going to be doing this podcast at 55. I kind of doubt we will, but I don't know if that's going to be because one of us doesn't make it that long, or
I've already planned to stop podcasting when we're 53. That's what I'm giving up that year.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Wish I could have known that ahead of time, but I'll make my list. I think
you've got 10 years.
You owe it to the listening populace to share that list with us. I want to see your flaws.
I think you and our listening audience are the people who least need to see my flaws. You've already seen them or heard them.
Also true. Yeah. I think it'd be fun. Again, Family Feud style. It'd be fun to top 8 answers are on the board and just come up with like 10 of them. You're just like, oh crap, I didn't think about that. I gotta write that one down too.
Oh man, I hope I live longer.
Yeah. All right, 65. 65 is when I stop being a pervert. I got a lot of stuff to fix.
That's one of my favorites. I do want to hang on to that one longer.
I knew I shouldn't have crowdsourced my flaws. I came up with way more. Also, now I can't get out of my chair because I just don't want to.
They asked ChatGPT what was wrong with Steve Shinny. It had a lot of really insightful answers.
Also, a lot of complete bullshit, but that's AI.
Broken clocks and all that. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Then You Ruined It. If you enjoy our flavor of nonsense, please like and subscribe wherever you found us. And please share with your friends and cooler family members.